Greta Thunberg is the #1 figurehead for a craven, nefarious, elitist global transfer of wealth scam.
Welcome to a new episode of The Clown Show.
Okay, first off, Greta Thunberg is an adult. She's nearly 20. It's almost 2023. It's not 2016 anymore. She's not a child anymore. She's a public figure. So yeah, we can talk about this candidly. Hello, Greta Thunberg. I have 33 cars. My Bugatti has an 8-litre quad turbo. My two Ferrari 812 Competizioni have 6.5-litre V12s. This is just the start. Please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and their respective enormous emissions. But for Andrew Tate, a snarky tweet soon turned into a global shitstorm. Yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldickenergy@getalife.com. Haha, macho man has small pee-pee. How dare you? Cue orgiastic, regime-approved NPC bot form. Yes, you go, slay queen reaction. This may well be the greatest tweet of all time. I expect the views feature to be removed after this public slaughter was witnessed by so many. Who'd have thought 2022 Twitter would peak so late in the day? Cue regime media.
They was pushing that shit so tough. You would have thought that somebody just won the Olympics, dog.
Rushing in to take the victory lap. Greta Thunberg humiliates Andrew Tate after enormous emissions boast. Viral Greta Thunberg tweet slamming Andrew Tate quickly gains 2 million likes. Greta Thunberg says Andrew Tate has small dick energy and savage tweet. Macho man has small pee-pee. I mean, you've got to give Greta or whoever writes her tweets credit. Normally, the pithier the response, the better it lands. And her response backed Tate into a corner with seemingly no way out. What's he gonna do? Post a picture of his knob? It would have been the only response that was pithier. But you know what the reaction would have been? Oh no, sexual harassment! And she would have become the victim again. Is he gonna get angry at a teenager for suggesting he has a tiny winky? Probably not the best idea. Is he gonna start making fun?
Ooh, I didn't even think about that, bro. If it was reversed, Tate would have referred to something sexual on her. Dog.
Fun of Greta Thunberg's body. Oh, no. Toxic misogyny.
Facts.
Body shaming can't win
Facts.
because body shaming's only okay when they do it.
Exactly.
Clever, eh? Conservative men, please stop being creepy about Greta Thunberg. It's literal sexual harassment. Her talking about men's penises, though, that's not sexual at all. You see, they write the rules of the game. Then they hand themselves a bunch of cheat codes that you're not permitted to use. Only the left is allowed to be offensive. If Tate had gone pithier with his first response, it would have led to another regime-orchestrated, deadly, toxic masculinity moral panic meltdown. A couple of years ago, when she was legally an adult, I insulted Greta in a similar context to how she insulted Tate. Milder, in fact. What happened? They banned the video and hate speech strike to the account. The regime says you're not allowed to ridicule Greta because they've turned her into some kind of deity. It's only okay when they do it. So Andrew Tate wasn't done. And again, he should have just posted an even pithier, even more insulting response. But I get why he didn't. The regime would have just mobilized the mob to go DEFCON 1 on him again. But here's what he said in a follow-up video.
She replied by telling me her own email address. Greta's email address is I have small dick energy. Why would that be your own email address, Greta? Strange. I mean, obviously I don't want to assume her gender. It's 50-50, but it is what it is.
Note how Tate can only walk around eggshells with his own joke, despite the fact that it's on a similar level to hers. Because only the left's allowed to be offensive, but then he landed more of a direct hit when he got serious.
So I'm actually mad at Greta, right? Because she doesn't realize she's been programmed. She doesn't realize she's a slave of the Matrix. She thinks she's doing good. Someone has sat her down and convinced her to
Should all make sense now. Should all make sense now. I didn't know who the hell Greta was. I thought she was a little 19-year-old girl that Tate was picking on, which would not seem like something Tate would do. This makes much more sense. This girl got like some major clout about her and he's trying to hold the girl accountable. That makes sense. And it turned into all this extra shit, dog. You know, touche, Tate, touche, dog. I respect it, bro.
Try and convince you to beg your government to tax you into poverty to stop the sun from being hot.
And that's the crux of it right there. The only way to respond to Greta and her ilk is to demolish the notion that any of them have the moral high ground. That's what really pisses them off. Greta Thunberg is the #1 figurehead for a craven, nefarious, elitist global transfer of wealth scam. An agenda that will impoverish the world and cause untold misery for generations to come. But yeah, to her credit, she's really good at dick jokes on Twitter. Liberals going after Andrew Tate for challenging Greta Thunberg with the line,
For someone to have so much leverage in this game to tweet something that's saying small dick energy, bro. I mean, she is 19 years old at the end of the day, but if she's up here representing something as important as what it seems, it's like, bro, y'all really want to give that amount of leverage to this little girl?
how insecure must you be to feel so threatened by her? And you can't even call her that, even though she calls herself that, because they'll ban your content. Truth is, doesn't matter whether she's 19 or 91, she's dictating a global energy policy that will end up killing millions. People...
They're going to minimize it to something as whack as him threatening an autistic teenager. Yeah, they're minimizing it, right? She's this big old representation of this global energy crisis that we're in, but then y'all are minimizing her to just being an autistic teenager, bro. You're just gonna say what you need to say to fit your narrative, bro. Fit your agenda, dog. That's not what we're talking about. Tate clearly didn't take shots at an autistic teenager. He took shots at somebody symbolizing something much larger than what the fuck they're trying to convey. All right.
Creating a global energy policy that will end up killing millions. People across Europe are freezing in their homes right now because Germany and all these other countries became totally dependent on green energy. They shut down almost all their coal-fired and nuclear power plants. Now people can't afford to pay their energy bills. Food inflation is through the roof. Our living standards are being decimated. Our means of mobility are being banned. We're being prepared for climate lockdowns by the very same forces that inflicted the outrageous evil that was COVID lockdowns. Under Greta's green dystopia, the cost of living will be barely living at all, living on the breadline. In the coming years, this will exacerbate devastating levels of poverty. And guess what poverty leads to every single time? Death. And although she may be completely naive as to her role in all this, Greta is the figurehead, the totem pole. She literally wants the entire system.
I feel like an idiot not being aware of this shit at all, bro. It's my first time learning this girl, bro. I gotta do my fucking research now. Fuck, dog. That was a big boy move. That was a big boy move from Tate, saying I got this, and this, and she gonna say small dick energy. Bro, that's why you could write this, dog. And then, I mean, now I guess it makes sense for people to connect the little pizza box gate thing because of who she is, bro. I still think that's a reach. I don't think one had to do with the other, bro. But this is definitely informative of me getting learned up on exactly who the fuck Tate was firing those shots at, bro. Preach.
Of capitalism to be overthrown. Now, I know its modern incarnation has got many problems, but generally speaking, capitalism lifts people out of poverty and greatly improves their lives. What Greta and her ilk want to replace it with ends life on a mass scale. Reference: the entire 20th century. Don't make fun of her, though, because only the left's allowed to be offensive.
I don't tell people what to do. This is exactly what you keep doing. You're acting like spoiled, irresponsible children. I don't tell anyone what to do or what not to do. I want you to panic. I don't tell people what to do.
I want you to panic.
I don't tell anyone what
So
to do or what not to do.
I want you to act as
Clearly
if the
she's a
house
puppet.
was on fire.
Tell people what to do.
I want you to act as if the house was on fire.
I don't tell people what to do. This is exactly what you keep doing.
She's a contrived, manufactured fraud, being fed lines by her activist parents and handlers. I mean, look what happens when she doesn't have a script to hand.
Could you please tell us what kind of message, what you are doing here today, what kind of message would you send by doing this to world leaders? And also can I ask you, do you think it's about time that President Trump would respond to what you have said today?
I think... I'm sorry, what was the first question?
What's the message you would like to
Yeah.
send to our leaders
Yeah.
by doing what you are doing?
I think what we want to send is... The message we want to send is to say that we have had enough and Anyone else wants to ask them that question? I can't speak on behalf of everyone. Anyone wants to answer about the message to world leaders?
They act like she's this brave, courageous, anti-establishment activist.
That's crazy. I mean, nothing crazy no more, man. How does a little 19-year-old, how does a little 19-year-old get promoted to be such a figurehead or something, though? That's crazy, bruh.
When every single tentacle of the establishment supports her every move. So that's the truth about Greta. She's the cult symbol for an anti-human agenda that will make everyone's lives immeasurably worse. She's one of the regime's most loyal servants. And that's why the regime rushes to her defense every time someone dares make fun of her. But yeah, good dick joke.
Yeah, bruh. Damn. I'm definitely gonna do my own homework, bruh. You know what I mean? But given that context, everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. How the fuck y'all feel about Greta? Does she represent good or evil? Clearly she's a puppet, though. Clearly she's a puppet, man. Anyway, that was cool. Appreciate you putting me on.